My dad, my hero. Wednesday, April 5th, I sat with my dad as he took his last breath. I have been so blessed to have my dad live a long life, 90 years. My dad gave his heart to the Lord after I got married in 1975. He has never been the same since. He used to have a horrible temper and would curse like a sailor. But after he got saved, his disposition and his life completely changed. He was never the same. He did jail ministry for over 35 years and saw many lives changed by his testimony and ministry. His heart was to share Jesus with everyone he met. He wanted everyone to know that Jesus could turn anyone's life around. My dad, in his younger years, was a very strong man. He was a bodybuilder. But the last few years, as his body failed him, his heart's desire was to go home, meaning heaven. The day we brought him home on hospice care, while in the elevator, I told him, "Dad, we're home." And he gave me a thumbs up. But when they rolled him into the apartment, he was not happy. It was the wrong home. He wanted heaven. On April 5th, his desire came true, and he is walking those streets of gold with his Savior and is completely healed and whole. No more failing body. He has a new body, new knees that were bone on bone, a new fingertip that he had cut off while he was working, and a new mind. No more dementia or Alzheimer's. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. My dad is free. My dad is healed. Even though his earthly body has died, my dad is still alive in his forever home in heaven. Something that I'll always remember, the day we brought him home on hospice, I had not seen him for a week because we had been out of town. I stood by his bedside, and the last words he said that we clearly understood was, "Terry, Terry Joe." He looked right at me and he said my name. At that moment, he knew who I was. Thank you, Dad. It was an honor to sit by your bedside over those last days, playing music for you, reading the Bible to you, and keeping you comfortable as you transitioned from this life to the next. Well done. A life well lived. I will see you again someday. I cannot say enough good things about the hospice care team that cared for my dad. They were all excellent, and they went above and beyond to help him and us. You have to have a special calling to do that type of work. My sister and I took turns staying with him and our mom. The night before his death, I was staying the night. We were giving him medication every 3 hours to keep him relaxed and comfortable. That particular night, I did not sleep at all. I was just laying there, listening to him breathe. About midnight, his breathing changed. I can't even begin to explain how it changed, but there was a definite change. His nurse called the next morning and asked how things went. And I told her that his breathing had changed around midnight. So she said she was on her way. She came every morning about 10 o'clock. When she got there, she tried getting his blood pressure, but was not able to get one. He was still breathing. In fact, his heart at that time was beating very fast. She told us, "You know his heart can't keep up with this, right?" Then she tried to get his O2, and that would not register either. Then it was just like someone flipped a switch. His breathing slowed way down. The nurse looked at me and Mom and said, "It's close. Maybe an hour or 2 at the most." So she told me to call my sister and tell her to come. The nurse then sat at the kitchen table and told me to sit on the side of the bed by Dad. Mom was on one side and I was on the other. I put worship music on the iPad and I put it by Dad. And I said, "Dad, here's some worship music for you to listen to as you go to heaven." It wasn't 2 minutes, and my mom said, "I don't think he's breathing." The nurse came to check, and he was already gone. It was that quick. There was no sigh, no gasp. He was just breathing, and then he stopped. It was so peaceful. The nurse got there about 10, and he passed at 10:40. Not many hospice nurses get to witness the death of their patients because most of the time they pass with just the family there. We believe that God worked it out so that our nurse was there because we needed that. I told the nurse it was a God thing, and she agreed. We later found out that my mother's church was praying for us and that Dad would go peacefully. And do you know what time they were praying? 10:40 a.m. Tell me that's not God. We're sad for us, but we're happy for him. He is where he has longed to be for such a long time. Thank you to everyone for your thoughts and your prayers as we have walked this journey. We are so very appreciative of each and every one of you.